Hello everyone. So I'm combining two challenges in one again for this card. This is for the Bellarific Friday challenge, which was a sketch challenge, and then I'm doing another Christmas card while I'm at it. And I'm using the new, this is Valerie with Snowman it's called, so not an Uptown Girl for once. I showed this in my last Stamping Bella haul and thought it was so cute, and decided I needed to use this card for a Christmas card. So I inked it up with My Favorite Things Black Licorice Hybrid ink and stamped it onto a piece of CC Designs Copic Quality 80-pound cardstock. And then I'm die cutting it with one of the Circle Stacks dies from MFT's Circle Stack Set 1 and just taping it into place so that when I run it through my machine it doesn't shift at all. And I die cut it before coloring it just so that I'm not like coloring any wasted area that I was going to die cut off anyway. So once it was die cut, I'm going to color, and I'm going to use Copics and my go-to skin color, always starting with the skin. It is just a total habit with me. I can't not start with the skin, and I haven't felt like experimenting yet. So my go-to skin combo is always, when I don't even want to think or anything and just want to color, is my E50, E21, and E13. So super quick and simple, especially for this image because the only skin that's exposed is her little face here. So color that and then added just a little bit of R20 to her cheeks and the very tip of her nose. And then her hair, I just added C5 to the kind of open areas. And then later on, I'm actually going to darken it a bit more. Because yeah, this is kind of a different image in that her hair kind of stamps solid, so she pretty much has to have black hair. So, or at least that's my opinion anyway. So that made things quick and simple. And then for her outfit, I'm matching colors to the Doodlebug Frosty Friends paper, which I showed in a previous video and absolutely love. Love the color combo of like the purples and the turquoises and the grays. It's so pretty. So I had to use that paper again, so I'm matching all the colors to that. So I started off with her coat and the little snowman's scarf and using purples. So I used V15 and then V17. And then I added BV08 as my darkest, and then just blending that out with my medium, which was the V17, and kind of took a few hints from the stamp packaging and the way that was colored, like where the shadows and darker areas were added, like on the jacket, to kind of create the look of it kind of being folded up and creased a bit as she's leaning over. So I thought that was kind of cool. So kind of copied that a bit. Not being super particular with my coloring. That's, for me, it works better to be a little more freer with it and not to obsess over it so much. I have massive amounts of respect for people that I have just been seeing so many examples of like really like realistic or just beautifully blended, gorgeous Copic coloring. I sit here with my jaw open and I can't even imagine the time and the effort and just the skill. I would love to be able to color like that. I don't think I have the patience for it, so I just pretty much scribble on color and it works. So yeah, you don't need to be super awesome at coloring. Honestly, it's just something fun to do. I have taken the standard Copic certification class. It's something you can look up on like the Copic website. If you're in the US or Canada, they have, you know, classes all over the country. Just there's standard certification, intermediate, and then there's like specialty classes they do in that. I highly recommend them. You learn so much, and they're geared more towards, you know, card makers and paper crafters, and really fun. So I've only taken the standard. Someday I'll take the more like the intermediate and the specialty classes. It's, for me, I always have to travel quite a distance, but other than that though, other than the little standard one, I've never taken, you know, art classes, anything like that, because I've been getting a lot of comments about that lately. Like, I don't know, I just like to color, always have. It's just fun. So anywho, I kind of just always get off track here. Colored in the image for the snowman, like the white areas, I went a little different and did BG000 and then added BV20, which was kind of, you know, a lavender color for the shadows. And then blended that out a bit with BG000, but again, I wasn't being super particular with it. I kind of left it a little bit scribbly, just to kind of give the look of more texture, because just the way the snowman was drawn in the ground, he looks like more lumpy and textured. And then for something different for me, I decided to color the entire background. I don't know what exactly I was kind of going for. I've seen a few examples lately of people doing these beautiful like winter sky backgrounds that almost look like the northern lights are going on, and they're beautiful. And I kind of started with the idea of I was going to try and do something like that, and then decided, nope, I was going to keep it simple. So I did start like, you know, flicking the color in. I was going to add maybe some purple to backgrounds and all this stuff, and then decided, no, I'm going to keep it simple because if I overwork it, I just know I'll end up destroying it. So I just used B24, B26, and B28 and just worked from lightest to darkest. And then just kind of kept going back and forth until I got this all back blended out enough that I was happy with it. And yeah, just simple, really simple. Also because I wanted to, I'm going to add some shimmer to this. So I was like, oh, forget adding a fancy sky. I'm going to add some shimmer. So here's where I darkened her hair because I just found after I colored in the background, her hair just kind of looked washed out. So I just used C8 to kind of darken it more to a black, and then just took the C5 again and blended that. And then when you're coloring something like this, I would recommend just doing it over some scratch paper. I just did it over my craft sheet. I don't really care. But if you want to clean it up, you can just use some of the colorless blender solution, or if you don't have that, rubbing alcohol will clean it up as well. I just put a few drops on a baby wipe and then rubbed off what I could and just left the rest out. Yeah, it's a craft sheet. That's what it's for. So I don't really mind if it gets stained. Mine's covered in all kinds of marks and stains. However, I do protect my work surface. I've got these Imagine Crafts Sheer Shimmer Spritz sprays, and this is a pack of 2, and there's Frost and I forget what the other one's called, but I chose the Frost one. Super, super pretty. You have to shake them up really, really well before you use them, and then I held it like, I don't know, 8 to 12 inches above my little image there and then spritzed it, and it's so hard to see on camera and in pictures, but the whole image is now really shimmery. It's so, so pretty. So I did that, and then I wanted to add more emphasis to it. So I just globbed a little bit back onto my craft mat here. And then I'm just picking it up with a dotting tool, and I found I didn't like how the small one works. So I had this huge one that's meant for creating like paper flowers, and picked it up to create bigger like blobs to make it look like snow. And of course it's all shimmery. So when this dries, it is gorgeous, and it dries super quickly. Even the blobs I created didn't take that long to dry. But yeah, just looking at it in real life, the whole thing is like so shimmery and catches the light. Really pretty. So set that aside to dry, and then I die cut some more white cardstock with the My Favorite Things Dimensional Banners die, and just added a little bit of adhesive to that to keep it from moving so that I could use my stamp positioner. And then I have a sentiment from my chilled out stamp set that I thought was rather perfect for this little image. So I used the positioner to get it stamped onto the little die cut banner there with the same black licorice hybrid ink. And then these dies have little score lines on them, so you can easily fold them there, and makes it perfect for the sketch challenge because that's how the little sentiment area kind of was popped up there. And then I decided, I'd already decided what pattern paper I wanted to use from the little Doodlebug pack. And then I just thought the sentiment just kind of being on white cardstock just faded into the card too much. It didn't really stand out. So quick and easy fix to that is just to grab a Copic marker and color it. So I just used my same V15, the lightest purple marker I had that I was using for the image, so of course it matches, and just went over it with the chisel end and scribbled it on there. I didn't make it perfectly even. I could have colored it a little bit more to make it perfectly even, but I kind of liked how it dried, that it was a little bit uneven, and just kind of gave it a little bit more dimension. So really simple. I would only do this on like smaller pieces of cardstock or around the edges of cardstock. I wouldn't color like large full pieces because you'll end up using a fair bit of ink, but for small things like that, no biggie. And then this little or big scalloped frame die is from the new Blueprints 20 set from MFT, and I just die cut some aqua paper that was in the same Doodlebug Frosty Friends pack, and then matted that with that pattern paper, so it's just got that cute little scallop border. So adorable. So did that, and then adhered my main image, and then I'm going to adhere down the sentiment. And once I added some of the adhesive to it and folded it over, I noticed there's parts that needed to be colored because you can see 2 pieces of the back plus the edge was all exposed. So I just quickly went over that with the same marker, the chisel edge, just to even things out a bit so it doesn't look like a total mess. So really quick and simple. And then I'm going to adhere that into place. So once that's in place, I'm going to get my card base, which is CC Designs, the Copic Quality 110 pound cardstock, cut to 4 1/4 by 11, and then scored at 5 1/2. So standard A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and get my little main panel here adhered. And yeah, everything is super flat, so this is an easy one to pop in the mail. It's not gonna cause any extra postage or anything. And then I had to add some of these winter assortment sprinkles from the Doodlebug pack because they're gorgeous and they're sparkly, so they totally go with this little shimmery image. And those two are pretty flat, so yeah, you could throw this in an envelope and mail it and not have to pay any extra, and it would go through the mail just fine. So then to finish off the inside, super simple, I just use Memento's Lulu Lavender ink to ink up the little main image again and stamp that on the inside of the card. And then I've got another sentiment from my chilled out set that again goes perfectly with little snowmen. It says cold twigs, warm hearts. I thought it was so cute. So got that lined up with my stamp positioner and inked up again with the Black Licorice Hybrid ink. And that's all there was to it. So as always, there will be a link below the video to my blog post with all the pictures and the info, as well as links to all the supplies used. So check that out below if you are interested. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing and thumbs upping my videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye!